Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia, and today, I just took the overlay off. That's what today is.
Jeez.
Oh, and look at it. It's like you have no clothes on. Whoop, whoop. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're all right there. Accidental click once in a while. All of a sudden, the curtain's gone. Now everyone sees
Everything looks
exactly what's
normal.
going
I don't like it.
on. But tonight, it's Monday Night Football. It's the New England Patriots. It's the Arizona Cardinals. My New England Patriots, finally a night game for my Patriots. It's been a little bit of a while. I had to wait since all the way to Thanksgiving. I'm a jerk.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the game today. Let's talk about what's going on. I already made some wagers. One of your favorites is one of my favorites. Spoiler alert. We're going to get to all the props and everything in between. But first, let's start here with the news for this game. Damian Harris doubtful for tonight. Jacoby Myers out with the concussion, so he will not be playing in this contest here. In your opinion, Boggs, before we even get to the lines, how does that affect anything the Patriots want to do offensively tonight?
Well, I mean, it's going to slow him down a little bit having Jacoby Myers out because Jacoby Myers is that number one wideout, right? So they're going to have to move around. They're going to have to get probably Kendrick Bourne a little more involved. Kendrick Bourne is a great talent. They just don't like him. I don't know if it's something with practice. I don't know if it's something with drops. Maybe you have a little more behind the curtain on Kendrick Bourne, but I know a lot of teams were in on him trying to trade for him and they wouldn't give him up, but they don't want to play him. I don't know where they're at. It's kind of, he's in limbo, but he's going to have to be a little more involved, I think, and maybe Devontae Parker as well and Hunter Henry. So I think there's a lot of ways to go and a lot of Ramondre as well.
A lot of Ramondre.
But we saw that last week, but it didn't really work.
It didn't, but it's Arizona. And I will say this too. Hunter Henry, that's where we go. That's where we make some money tonight. I don't care if it's chalky. I don't
Cardinals
care.
are so bad against tight ends.
They're the worst against the tight end. I've got him as the anytime touchdown scorer. We're going to talk about that later. I've already made the wager. It's done before we even got to the show today because I couldn't even wait. Sometimes I like to do it here live on the program because we like to bet with you guys. Kyle's in the chat. What's up, Kyle? Nice to see all you guys here hanging out and gals watching the show right now. On the flip side here, we are going to get Hollywood Brown. Hopkins is going to play. He was dealing with an illness earlier in the week, and Rondale Moore is officially out. So a little bit of change to the Cardinals here because we haven't seen Hollywood and DeAndre Hopkins yet on the field together. So that's a little different. What do you think that impact could be for tonight's contest?
Well, look, I hope DeAndre is fully good to go from this illness. I mean, I had it the last week. It's been going around, right? It's been nasty to deal with. But every time I doubt Hopkins, he goes out and has an enormous game. So I expect that in this game. But look, this is one of the easier Monday Night Football games for me, I think, to pick maybe ever. It is the best coach in the NFL versus the worst coach in the NFL. So,
but the worst coach when he is a home underdog tends to actually show up. That's the problem. If you want to write the narrative,
don't even want to hear it.
I don't know if I am. Big Ben's with me on the Hunter Henry too. See that? Big Ben knows what's up there. He's ready to go. But look, here's the number: 2.5 on the Patriots side, -110 obviously on that. 44 is the number on Betting Pros. That's a consensus over under. It's +115 if you like the Cardinals to go. And you know what? I'm so mad because on Thursday when last I left everybody, I told Pat, we've been making so much money on these underdogs every week. I was like, there's a part of me that wants to bet the Rams, but I feel like it's not even big enough. It was like, I think it was 2-1 or whatever. So I was like, it should be 3 or 4 or something like that. I know,
how do we doubt the attitude of the Raiders? I guess
I know.
There,
But Vegas was right. It was closer than we realized, and we should have paid attention to it. So I apologize to everybody for Thursday Night Football for not going along with yet another.
That was historic. I mean, they literally Amazon primed a quarterback, and there he is. I mean, it is ridiculous. Well, I didn't invent it. I definitely
you did. You did.
I think it was Mina Kimes. I'm not sure, but I definitely.
Don't steal from Mina Kimes because then she'll come after you.
Well, I mean, she's excellent, but but I just remember reading it. I could have not been Mina Kimes. I don't know.
That's a great line. So
it's
shout out
such
to
a
Mina
solid
for
line. Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing line, and it's true. They Amazon primed a QB in 2 days or less, and here he comes, and he goes down and wins a 98-yard drive. My Steelers podcast, they're like, I don't know which would be funnier, if Baker looks terrible or if Baker wins. And winning Baker is definitely funnier because he got to get up on that stage afterwards. I don't know if you watched that, Joe, with Richard Sherman, and someone had asked Richard Sherman earlier in the week, Like, do you think Baker's going to get another shot? And where do you think he works best? And he says, I don't think he works anywhere. I think he's just getting an extra shot because he's a first-round pick. Like every first-round quarterback gets picked, gets an extra shot.
How many teams with Sam Bradford on? How many teams? Maybe we can go on and on. I mean,
God, Sam Bradford,
Sam
million
right?
shots. Yeah,
a
Josh Rosen got kicked to 100 different teams, right? So, Mitch Trubisky got an extra shot.
Well,
so
here's
did
a
Mariota,
question for you.
You know.
So if we're at 2.5 here at
Cardinals.
-110, would you juice it a little bit more and just go for the Pats on the money line at 135 and not screw around? Take a little less juice, bet a little bit more.
I mean, I think the Pats are going to run away. So
well, they've had trouble running away from a lot of opponents this year. It's a very runaway offense, you know. Just saying. I hope you're right. By the way, I hope you're right. To me, if I'm betting this, I'm just taking the Pats on the money line.
But I'm not going to be.
Instead of betting $50 on this, let's just say I'd rather bet 75 on the money line to make that same amount. That's what I'm saying, everybody. That's my approach.
I feel like you're being a self-deprecating fan of your own team, which
well,
is
I'm being a realistic
fan better.
of my own team, and I just feel like they are. Look, you've got some dynamic playmakers here. Hopkins, you've got Kyler Murray, you've got
talent is
Hollywood
on the field.
Brown. You don't have that on the Patriots side. So if one of those dynamic talents makes a play or two, and the defense doesn't come up with a turnover or two, this game is super close. I'm still with you on the Pat side, but I would actually put a little bit more money to make the same amount and forego the points. Again, this is the stuff that for those people who are new to betting, like people don't talk about these things.
Sure.
This is why you hang out with us. Bob and I got you covered. We're trying to go along with you here.
And, you know, it's once again, like I said, it's the best coach in the world versus the worst NFL coach right now. Maybe not the worst, but he's definitely
Hackett's worst.
Hackett is worst. Okay. I mean, Josh McDaniels has to be in there. He's been doing a terrible job in Vegas. So
he's in the cluster.
Yeah,
the cluster.
Bottom tier coach for sure, Cliff Kingsbury, 100%. So, but you know, I mean, I think in terms of coaching, I think coaching cannot win it, but they can F it up, is basically my thought about coaches. And
good thought.
You know, Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, there is more talent offensively on the Cardinals than there is on the Patriots. I don't think that's really a question, but I mean, just look at the way they've been sniping back and forth at each other. I think the last Cardinals loss, Kyler Murray said, well, schematically we were screwed, which is, well, that's just throwing your coach directly under the bus. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. So, I'm excited for this game because it does give me another chance to see Kyler Murray lose and get angry at Kingsbury, which makes me grin like the Grinch every single time I see it.
I told on the BP look ahead this morning, I told everybody, I said, look, I'm just telling you, Fitzmaurice, just letting you know, Fitz, Monday night, it's a good chance I'm going to be sitting around watching that Packers game against the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rams should have no business, you know, in that game. It's going to be cold, all this stuff.
Cannot flex a Monday night game. It's terrible.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put some money down on the Rams just because I love chaos, and I want to see it, because if I win money on that game, that'll be the best thing to happen.
Look, the Packers are beatable. Okay, I mean, they're beatable,
and the number is 7.5 already. I know that's not the game we're talking about, but it's 7.5 already. I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I think that's a little bit too much credit. Everyone's like, well, the Rams can't play in the cold. I was like, I remember watching Aaron Rodgers play in the cold the last few years. He's getting old. Old people don't like the cold weather. Bogman knows I bitch and complain about it all the time. The older I get, the more I hate being in New Jersey.
How much would you love to see Baker go in and beat Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football?
I am going Tuesday morning if that happens.
It's like like a lottery ticket. You just pay the $2 to imagine what you do. That's why you're betting this game. Yeah.
Look, I'm not mad if it doesn't hit, but if it does, I'm so happy. It doesn't have to be a lot of money, just a little bit. Let's get to the props, and let's start here with Hunter Henry. Now, you found it at plus 265, but Bogman over on FanDuel plus 330. Plus 330.
Let's get there then.
Go run to FanDuel right now. Run to FanDuel. And I know I see Juan's in the chat here. Juan was talking about Jonnu Smith. He's plus 500. Look,
not a bad one either.
Smith. It's not, but I'm not doing that. I'm going right to Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry deserves an extra touchdown. He needs at least one here, but I'm in on this one. Look, Bogman and I see eye to eye. They are the worst team in the NFL against tight ends. They give up scores to tight ends. They give up yards to tight ends. Plus,
it's almost a full touchdown per game. It's like 0.8, which is
and the point I'm making too is when you have Jacoby Myers out, the middle of the field has to be worked by Hunter Henry tonight. Like, you just have to do it. So I love this tonight. Let's talk more about it because, I mean, to me, this is one of the better Monday Night Football bets we've had on this slate for a while.
They're allowing the most receptions to tight ends. They're allowing the most receiving yards to tight ends. Plus, I mean, look, in terms of fantasy, 33% of Hunter Henry's, points last season came from touchdowns, and he only has 2. There has to be positive touchdown regression coming towards Hunter Henry. Anyway, how could it not be in the game against a team that is literally the worst in the middle of the field at covering the tight ends? So, I think this is no touchdowns are ever a lock, and especially tight end touchdowns outside of maybe Travis Kelce are never a lock. This is as close to a lock from a non-Travis Kelce.
If it fails, it fails, but there's no way, all the data, you can't make this wager. And I would have thought, if you asked me to put what this number is when you take that data, I would have said probably 210.
Sure, I would have said 200.
I saw your 265 before the show. I got onto FanDuel where I like to put my wagers and stuff, and there it was. And that 330 I was like, oh, let's go.
Easy
let's
peasy.
Go.
Love it.
I see Prodigy in the chat. What's up, Prodigy? Yes, the tribal chief, Joey P, is here. All right, Bogwitz, we got Hunter Henry. We're in on that. Let's talk about Mac Jones, 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 145. That's another great number.
Yeah, Mac only has 1 multi-touchdown game on the season, which is why we're getting this plus juice. But the Cardinals, aforementioned pass defense is rough. The Chiefs are the only team that has allowed more passing touchdowns than Arizona on a per-game basis here. And look, you just look at these Cardinals, the secondary. It's bad. They can't cover the tight ends. The corners are rough. I know we're missing Jacoby Myers here, but you get down to it. It's Ramondre Stevenson. It's not Damian Harris banging in the middle. You'd rather have Damian banging at the goal line. So I think this is an easy possibility for 2 TDs for Mac Jones, and we're getting plus money. And all he has to do is throw 2 against the Cardinals. I think this is extremely doable for him.
It's a great number too.
I like
plus 145 is a great number there. If you want to put that and the Hunter Henry together, and then we've got Kyler Murray, the over 0.5 picks here on the INTs, minus 140. It's a lot of juice, but look, we're talking about lock things. If you want to go Jones, Murray, and Henry, I don't like parlays, but if you want to, that's a good one right there, Bob.
I bet that juice would be amazing too. And this one is minus 140. So it's kind of like, all right, this is our one bad juice, but guaranteed. I feel like the Pats have 12 interceptions. That's 1 per game. They're tied for 6 in the NFL. Murray has 7 picks in 10 games, a couple multi-pick games. And look, just like we said, it's the number 1 coach versus one of the worst coaches in the league, right? So scheming up, disguising things. People have made fun of Kyler Murray for his Call of Duty nonsense and all that stuff. Like, it really, the correlation is the Cardinals play the harder teams later in the season, more injuries later in the season, things like that after Call of Duty comes out. It's not an actual real thing. It's a funny, goofy anecdote that has happened. But that it's the situation that we're in. We're in December, and guys are hurt. No Zach Ertz, illness for Hopkins, Limpy, Gimpy, Marquise Brown. So, Connor has missed time. So we're in that part of the year. So
I think more than anything, dude, it's the it's also what they're going to throw at him in terms of defensive looks.
Yeah, Matt Judon will be in his face.
Right, Matthew Judon in your face, along with some confusing defensive looks, I think is enough there for Kyler Murray and this offense to throw him off enough. And I agree. I do like the 1 pick in there. I think that's another one. All right, Trey McBride, one of our favorite college players from last year, 15.5 receiving yards. You like the over on this? Is getting minus 110. Let's talk about it.
Look, this one is tougher, right? Because you look at his production, you go, what the hell, Bogman? What are you thinking? How is McBride going to get this? But he's in his 3 starts, he's getting high snap percentages, right? 91%, 76, 79% in his 3 starts since the Ertz injury. We have, Hopkins at less than 100%, Marquise Brown at less than 100%, and your Patriots are right in the mix of bad teams against the tight end, dude. They're not good. So the Patriots,
that's where I thought you were going to start today.
Well, the Patriots are also, the team that takes away look, every team tries to do this. The Patriots are just good at it, at scheming up to take away your best players. So if you're double shadowing DeAndre Hopkins, you're like, look, this guy ain't beating us. All right. We're going to let Connor We're going to, maybe we get beat deep by Marquise, or McBride down the middle is going to be wide open. One of those is going to come available. And if I have to pick one to let go, if I'm Bill Belichick, let's let the rookie tight end screw it up. Let's make them depend on him. So I think they're going to kind of funnel things towards McBride. Like, if you want to throw the rookie, throw the rookie. We'll let him beat us. We're not going to let Connor and Hopkins beat us. I think that's what's going to happen here. So I'm all in on Trey McBride getting like 4 or 5 catches in this game and setting career highs at pretty much everything. And he was like plus 525. I don't know what he was on FanDuel, Joey, but he was like plus 525 for a score. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility either.
Let's take a look at that. Actually, the Trey McBride number is not a one that really popped to me. It is plus 850.
850. It was, I'm telling you, it was like 5 something on DK.
Plus 850 on FanDuel is like, come. It's like that meme of Dave Chappelle when he's like, come. Yeah. He's like, that's basically what it is right now.
It's plus 550 on DK. So if you're getting,
I've got another one that I love too.
FanDuel, woo, I like that.
The juice isn't too much. I want to get to it after you have one more. So finish your prop. I already know that my lock today is Hunter Henry, but I have another one I want to throw at people. But you've got a kicker one.
Yeah,
talk about this. We never give kickers any love on the show.
Yeah, I think this is the second kicker one that we've done. The last one was Justin Tucker, and it hit. It was over 1.5 field goals, and it's even money plus 100 for Matt Prater. Matt Prater's been a little hurt, but look, the Patriots are a very, very strong defense. They like to stall out drives. I think if you see what the Patriots are limited to on offense, if you're the Cardinals, I think if you are in a position to take points, you need to take them. So I think the Cardinals will take points. Matt Prater seems to be fully good to go, no hamstring, all that stuff. So 2 field goals at even money, I think that's good. And I hated there were only 3 tackle props available and no sack props available. So I wanted to go there somewhere.
I got on FanDuel, Matthew Judon to record a sack minus 126. Yes, please.
That's not bad at all. I don't
think it's bad at all either.
I didn't have it on DK earlier.
I love that one on FanDuel. And the other one too that I want to look at is Kyler Murray, 35.5 rushing yards. The Patriots are not great against rushing QBs.
Pull it down and
minus 110. Good idea. Only minus 110 on FanDuel. So this has been, I think, the most bettable prop game on Monday Night Football that we've had in a month. I love this game.
It looks like a boring game-ish. I mean, both these teams are solid, so it's not that boring. From a betting
standpoint, it's not boring. It might be a boring game in some ways, but not from a betting standpoint, because there's a lot of things that you have a very clear identity of these teams. And look, I watched Justin Fields run all over this team. I've watched Josh Allen run all over this team. If you're running quarterback, you're going to run for 35 yards here. Like that to me would be shocking if he doesn't get that. So if you put the Hunter Henry, the Mac Jones, or you want to put the Mac Jones over in the 1.5 touchdowns, or if you want to go ahead and put the Kyler Murray rushing total, the 35.5 on the over 2, man, that's a nice little three-way dance there for you. If you want to stack those 3 things together.
Okay, if it's in a 3-way.
That's what I've been told. I believe the verbiage is menage a trois. I believe. I didn't think
is that right? I'm not sure.
I believe that's what it's told. But like, I don't want to screw around too much with Mac Jones passing yards totals. I don't want to do that because I do think there will be some ugliness there.
Yeah, that's what the yardage totals I was kind of, staying away from. To be honest, outside of Trey McBride, it's touchdowns, picks, and field goals is what I have. I only have the 1 yardage total is 15.5. So we're trying. When Hunter Henry scores, I mean,
we're going to be very excited.
It's going to look like white trash Christmas in here. I'm going to be throwing cups and bottles and everything. I'm going to be very happy. So
the other thing too, to stay on as well, I know a lot of people are going to look at things like James Conner because of the volume and stuff like that. Look, Patriots are really good against the run.
Yeah.
And I would also avoid that just out of principle. Like, I just don't think I know it's tempting because of the volume, but I wouldn't be pushing for it because I think if anything, Kyler Murray is going to run more in this game. So hit the Matthew Judon sack. Hit some of the things we're talking about. Like I said, betting the Patriots outright, I think, is the way to go here. Personally, I just think that's what you want to do. Just out coached at the end of the day. That's what Bogman and I keep going to. And we've loved the underdogs, but this one's practically a pick 'em anyway. So rather than go to the points, go ahead, take a little bit more on the Patriots side. Go get it done that way. So that's what I would do. Anything else to add, Boggs, before we close up shop for today?
No, I wish I like that Matthew Judon plus 126, or was it minus 126 or plus 126 for a
Minus
sack?
126, which
I
is
mean,
not terrible considering how
no,
good
it's
he's been.
not.
Like that
Do
number
you
could have
have
been
anybody else on
180.
that list? Who else is on there?
The other people on that list is we have Matthew Judon, JJ Watt to record a sack, Dietrich Wise to record a sack, plus 180 on the yes.
Not bad. Not bad on
Not
Wise.
bad there too. Also tackle numbers, player assisted tackles, 6.5 for Buda Baker. It's minus
that's about
122 on the
perfect. I don't
over.
want to mess with it. Yeah.
Isaiah Simmons, same thing. Jalen Thompson, same thing. So we're getting, again, for the defense, I think it's a Judon sack and you run away from it. And if you want to go to Jonathan Jones for the pick, plus 580, you're getting for yes on the interception there.
Yeah.
Which is
we'll see. And I'm going to be back on Thursday. Look at that.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy Monday Night Football. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Enjoy your Monday Night Football.